All right, I think we should be live and direct. We are back.
How do you do?
Just finished filming the awards show of the season, and we'll do a quick live show just to get into some of the local football off-season happenings. Mm-hmm. And as always, this is the Fly Degenerates show, where we talk sports and other things. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and you'll see the tags. So follow Flexalente and follow Word Life on social medias as well, and join the DraftKings group, because I'm gonna start giving away free money, because the only thing that I'm really motivated by for the most part is money. So I assume that most people can be motivated by money as well. So if I start giving away free money in the DraftKings group for winners of some of the contests, that might be an incentive. But you got to beat me first. But that's how that'll go. But what's good, fellas? How we feeling about some of the off-season stuff? I'm probably going to lay out, but you guys can take over.
Yeah.
I feel good. Both of us. I mean, obviously the Giants did a little bit more splash and flash. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like the Jets did a couple things to, low-key moves that kind of set up the offensive line. I mean, you as well, Cheek. So,
yep.
I mean, how you feeling?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I got my favorite player left the team, but it went to a rival team. That didn't feel too good, but what are you going to do? You know what I mean? I kind of knew that was happening already. Shane has shown he doesn't value. It's not that he does. I think Joe Shane is trying to be part of the new NFL. I think that's his whole, stick, okay, what is the NFL doing? Okay, we're not valuing the running back. Okay, that's what we are. Oh, we're not, we like to need corners. Da, da, da. So I seen it coming. I think a lot of the Giants fans seen it coming. But as far as, with the Burns thing, that's a great pick. The first thing that came to my head was, didn't the Rams just offer him fucking 2 first-round picks last year? That's the first thing that came to my head. And then, sure enough,
you mean the dickhead of the decade?
Yeah, exactly. The dickhead of the decade gave him up for a second for the Leonard Williams. Basically, we traded Leonard Williams.
I mean, when you put it that way, it makes it even more impressive, because that's pretty much what you had to pay Leonard Williams. Obviously, a little bit more, but we're talking about a better player at a better position.
At a more valuable position, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean, that's exactly. I don't know if the picks are exactly the same, but I mean it's pretty much the same.
I think that was the pick that we got.
It was a 2 and a 5.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But the pick, we only got the 2 for Leonard, I believe. But
no, but you got a 5. I think you got a 5 as well. If I'm not mistaken, I might be bugging, but if I'm not mistaken, I think
you might be right. But that's basically what we gave up for him. So, yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. Tibbs. I know Giant fans are really high on Tibbs. I think he's good. I'm not ready to crown him like all these other Giant fans are.
Crown his ass.
But with Burns, Burns is a better player now. We have a better player now. So,
and he's more dynamic too.
Yeah. Well, and Tibbs is known to take some plays off. Maybe he gets some guidance out of him, and I like what they did with the O-line too. So. I'm happy with that, man. I'm happy with what the Giants have done so far. Losing Saquon was, sucks, and losing him to the Eagles really sucks. But it's a direction that Shane wants to go in, and I'm happy with what Shane did, man. But again, I'm not dumb. I'm not 100% secure on Joe Shane's spot yet. He's working. He's working there. We're going to see what he does with this draft, and we're going to see what he does with this quarterback position.
Now you
He pretty
said
much.
that you. Well, I just want to ask because you said that you said it sucks that he went to Philadelphia. As far as the like how he left and like all the social media posts and
Yeah.
his whole thing. I don't know if you have been seeing what the whole him beefing with Tiki
Tiki.
Barber.
Yeah.
What are you? How do you feel, and how do you think Giants fans should feel about all that other stuff?
I don't think they should take it personal, man. What the fuck you want the kid to do? Tiki's, the first. It sucks because I loved with an ED Tiki Barber, man. The fuck, I used to fucking cheer his ass. He was fucking running for 200 yards. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a Giants running back do that shit. He did that shit multiple times, all-purpose yards, kick returning. Like the dude he was the fucking man for me. I had his jersey, and then the way he went out with Eli, like you can't. I know you just can't do that, bro. You can't just come in here and speak for us when we were excited to see you with Eli, bro. Like you were supposed, like we were excited for that. I was, at least speaking for me, I was excited for that, Tiki. And you fucking leave because his demeanor and all that shit. Guess what? His demeanor was fucking perfect for New York, bro. And his demeanor brought us 2 fucking chips, bro. You know what I mean? So for you to sit here and talk loyalty to Saquon Barkley, who's a fucking stand-up dude, that's BS, man. That's BS. And Saquon, yeah, going to the Eagles, was it a middle finger to us? I don't know if it was an intentional middle finger, but it's a middle finger, bro. But what do you want the kid to do? The kid grew up in fucking Pennsylvania. The kid went to fucking Penn State. The kid got offered more money there than anywhere else. And that's not a fact, but I'm pretty sure that when the numbers come out, there's nobody was offering that amount of money.
No, I think
and
you're
again,
right on that. I think that's a fact.
Is it a fact? Okay.
I believe so.
And to your point, H, if you're a fucking Eagle, if the Philadelphia hard on for the Giants is that fucking hard that they want to fucking shit on us and hurt our feelings and emotion and go out and do that shit and hurt themselves a little bit while they're at it, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's how bad you want to fuck us. Go ahead, bro. You can beat off to us all you want, but guess what? You're not getting in here, buddy.
Now, so when the first Eagles Giants game at MetLife Stadium,
yeah,
you think they're boos, cheers, mix? Is there gonna be tribute video? What?
Yeah,
there should
be a tribute. There should be a tribute video because it wasn't him with it. What I'm working on specifically, first of all, I'm hoping he changes his number. But if not, I'm trying to bring my mind to like turn a 6 into like a 7 or something. So when I'm seeing him running, I'm not seeing Saquon. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where it's gonna. That's what.
Well, you could do a 36. That'll be who was that? Corell Buckhalter?
I guess I don't know, but all I know is it sickens me to see
36 for who? For the Eagles or for
the
the
Eagles?
For the Eagles.
When I think 36 for the Eagles, I always think
Who's
Brian
Buckhalter?
Westbrook. Wasn't he?
Oh, then that's who it
36?
was.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Corell
yeah.
Buckhalter was 40 something, I think.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's my main, thing that's gonna hurt to see him there. But again, the kid, Giant fans should just let it be. And yeah, when it's time to play him, yeah, fuck it. Shit on him all you want. Not him specifically, on the Eagles like we always do. Talk shit about him. I personally think they're on the downhill. I think Hurts is on the downhill. They just lost Kelsey. So the offensive line is not going to be as good. Do I want Saquon to do good? I kind of do, but not in the Eagles uniform. So I guess if he does well, he does well. I'm not going to hate him. And if he doesn't do well, better for us. Fuck you, Anto.
Man, I think I don't know. I think it's almost like you want him to do good just to prove the point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
almost. But like, I was gonna say, like,
what do you mean when you say that? Prove to
prove a
that they
point
should've
where it's
kept
like,
him?
yeah, that they should have kept him, or at least tried to do a little bit more to like respect him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or more
like,
to me, to put him behind a good line or put him some with a good offense. It's kind of like you kind of want to see that,
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, like I think that's kind of like the motivation. It's like, oh, Well, this is what he did with you guys, but we're gonna show you what he can do on I like in Death Row. You know what I'm saying? Like almost that type of vibe.
Word.
But it's like I was gonna say like
Good
what you
analogy.
said like what you were gonna say like with Shane, how you were like how you're like holding him. It's almost like I want to like to use the comparison is like when your kid you go into your kid's room and you think that he's like playing PlayStation or doing some shit on his phone like he shouldn't be doing, and then you open the door mad quick and he's doing his homework and you kind of go like, oh, all right, like,
Yeah.
like that's almost like
Better be doing your homework.
but that's how I feel like you feel about Shane. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I'm watching you. Yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like you did it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you did a little something, but that doesn't mean I'm happy with you. You know what I'm saying? Like
It doesn't mean it doesn't mean you're safe yet.
Yeah. I'm still.
I see you though. Good job. Good job, but
Hit him with one of those.
yeah. But not so negative. You know, it's like I see you, but it's like
It's not as demonstrative.
Yeah,
it's like,
you don't gotta throw it. You don't gotta throw it back at him. You just
exactly.
Like,
a little raised eyebrow.
Yeah, you do the little head nod, like, all right. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. Yeah, so but we'll see what he does in the draft, man. Because it's funny because my man's he calls me. He's after the Saquon signed to the Eagles, and he's like, "You were right about Joe Shane. You fuck him," and this shit. I said, "Hold on." I'm like, "Hold on." I agree. I was the first one to say
defense. Wow.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time with me, man. It's like the Jay-Z and Nas shit. When the Jay-Z hater pops up, I'm a Jay-Z defender. When obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's like because you can't
balance. We gotta balance.
You gotta balance it because you can't deny Joe Shane's has done some good things, but there's a lot of questionable things too. So this draft is big for him, and let's see what he does, man. Let's see what he does. So Jets, what we got?
Oh wait, what I was gonna ask, so what's the line looking like right now? Okay, you got Schmitz. Okay, so you're set at O-line.
Yeah, it depends what we're gonna do with Neil, right? Because
Neil has to go.
Guard.
Yeah.
Because this kid, what's this kid from the Raiders? I forget his last.
From garbage to garbage, maybe.
What?
You can't get.
The kid from the Raiders.
Neil. I'm saying Neil.
Oh yeah, but what's the kid from the Raiders name?
Illuminor.
So he plays tackle supposedly too, right? And guard.
Yeah.
So that's where the
they're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, that's where the battle's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they
Illuminare.
Yeah, you might have to kick.
Yeah,
that was hard. You might have to put Neil in the guard position if he don't pan out. So
don't stop booing him.
I was
gonna say Neil. I mean, careful.
Yeah, and look at Singer, and we got
fat ass.
Yeah. I just watched it the other day.
It never it just gets better.
No, it's amazing.
Are you kidding me? That shit was hard. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
My favorite was when he loses
I hate that.
when he dials it down, like he gets hype, and then when he gets serious and threatens him, that's my favorite. When he goes, "Don't you ever talk to anybody like that again."
Yeah.
That was when I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Whoa.
My favorite. No, my shit is when he fucking he feels it throughout his whole body so much it like a beam comes out and he just smacks the table. I hate that. Like he couldn't find words for it. He's like, I hate that. Like that's the word that came out because he just hates it so much.
Him physically beating up the studio is always a classic staple. Like when he tried to snap the computer monitor in half. He tried to take the whole flat screen and snap it in half.
Really? Wow, what a goat. The mic shit was priceless.
No, the best is I told Ace this. One day you're not gonna be playing football.
Oh no, yeah, you're right.
If there's a God up above, it'll be soon.
That was it. You're right. That was the best part.
But
literally done.
I can't. It's hard to be, there's always gonna be you always want more. There's always people crying about getting about getting the flashy signings and all that stuff. But like I said this forever, you know, nobody, like no team that like goes out and gets all the flashy players, it never ends up working. Like I said, like you're gonna go out, you're gonna see how it's gonna work out for the Titans.
Well, there's
Over-
one example that it worked out for recently, the Rams.
With Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford, Ramsey,
No.
The Rams did get the flashy guys, and it worked out.
No, but that actually goes back to the point that I made earlier, where they had to trade for all of those players.
Yeah.
Because their team still wanted them. Like the Rams had to give up significant draft capital for all of the good players that they acquired, most of the good players that they acquired.
Yeah. Oh no,
Like,
I thought you were just saying like the team that acquires all of like the big
Well,
names. 'Cause,
yeah,
like,
I
that
should've-
usually doesn't work out either. Like I'm just like I feel like the Rams are the first ones to actually create the quote unquote dream team by trade or by free agency, and it actually translates to a championship.
Yeah, I mean, there's other examples. Like you think about even the Bucks with Tom Brady. Like they didn't have to trade for anybody because obviously most of the people Tom Brady brought in, it was like they brought in Gronk. I guess you could count.
But I
Antonio
feel like
Brown
in
or
terms
whatever.
of like people who actually like had a significant role on that Bucks team,
They
it
were
was
all
really
there.
just him and Gronk, and everybody else was still from the
Yeah.
previous regime.
And he just made everybody better for the most part. But I
Didn't they get
meant,
Leonard Fournette too?
yeah, but he was like vet minimum,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a prove
But
it
still,
deal.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying, like that's a little bit different. What I'm saying is like mostly when you sign the big free agent like Calvin Ridley, when you give $23 million to Calvin Ridley, it's crazy, yo. He's
Kenny
gonna be
Galladay.
30.
He's
I
30 I didn't want
already.
to say
That's-
it. I didn't want to say it. I was thinking
Yeah,
that same thing. I didn't want to say it though.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's the Kenny Galladay, like I guess it could be no, it can't be worse. I think it's gonna be more or less the same, but just going off of like what Kenny Galladay got. No, I'm saying like with the Calvin Ridley, you know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't make sense for a team that you don't even really know if you've got the quarterback position solidified for you to be going out there and giving a wide receiver like Calvin Ridley, he's older. He's going to be 30 years old. Like he's not that much older. He's not that much older than DeAndre Hopkins, as crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we look at DeAndre Hopkins as like a fogey. You know what I'm saying? and you got this Calvin Ridley, and you're paying him $23 million. I don't know. It's crazy. And even like what are the big other the Carolina Panthers? They spent $150 million on two guards, not even a tackle. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's kind of crazy. Like the only one that I
get
think
paid this year though.
Yeah,
not just by them though. We paid Runyon. We paid Runyon a pretty penny.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying like I think the only really good signing of like the big name signings, I think is going to be Wilkins, and that's because it's like usually the team that signs Wilkins, like a player like Wilkins, is
Christian
a team
Wilkins?
that Christian Wilkins is a team that like needs a defensive lineman, right? Like like something like the Broncos or something like that. It's rarely when they have like an edge defender or dominant player like Max Crosby already like on the line, and they're just adding somebody to the interior to make it better for Max Crosby to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like going back to like the Giants where they got somebody who's gonna eat. But also, they got two other people with Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau that they get to eat. Like they all feed off each other, and they're just going to make each other better. So I think those are the outliers. Like I said, like I don't like the flashy, like bring in Odell Beckham. Like I didn't like when they signed Dalvin Cook last year because and it turned out to be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
obviously, you could swing and miss on other players. I was like, like Lazard or whatever. But, um, like you always when you get a player that's a big name player that was, coming off a good season and has, their own team doesn't really have that much interest in keeping them. That's usually a warning flag. So we traded for Moses, Morgan Moses. We got another Raven, John Simpson. I like that on the O line because the O line is when they have continuity, it's always a better mix. So now you got two players that you brought in that have already played with each other. So I mean, all in all, I still need a wide receiver. They still need a couple other pieces, but I don't think we need that much more. You know what I'm saying? So got Tyrod.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
So I don't know. I'm not that. I can't go say I'm crazy either in one direction or the other, but standard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hate losing Bryce Huff, but I think they can
The
figure it
Eagles
out.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting. Big draft coming for both New York
Now,
teams.
any other outside of the Jets and Giants, any other off-season moves that y'all have found interesting, or for good or bad reasons?
Well, AJ Dillon just signed. Who he went to? I just saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like what the Packers did, man. No one's really talking about the Packers. I was listening to a couple.
What did they do besides Josh Jacobs?
They got McKinney. On the,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
on the safety. But they let go of Savage, which was he's solid. But yeah, I like.
What
I
kind
like
of contract did they sign Jacobs for?
12 million.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 years, 48 million. I mean, I don't know exactly what the
It's what they were
guarantees
paying.
are.
I think I heard it was exactly what they were paying. Aaron, the kid that they let go.
Jones?
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big Josh Jacobs believer, but we'll see. Maybe he'll continue to be good. I'm just not. I don't know why. I can't even really say
I think
why.
it's just I think it's just like the way he looks. Like he doesn't really talk much. You really don't even know what he sounds like. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was ready to
I
bury
just
him a
feel
couple
like
weeks
he's a guy. To me, he just really feels like a guy who is more of a product of volume than actual skill. Like I'm not saying he's a bad running back. I just don't know that he's a difference maker special like that. I feel like a lot of his productivity came from the fact that the team just didn't have anything on offense and they just gave him 30 carries a game, which you don't even really see that in the NFL anymore. Like he was getting carries in a way that it was like it's the 80s, the way they were giving him carries. They were giving him like the Ricky Williams treatment.
Word.
And like I feel like a lot of his numbers and his productivity was a function of that, and B, how much quicker is he gonna start to wear down because of having gotten all those carries the last couple of years. And I hate to say that because that's part of the reason why the running backs is not getting paid, but it is it's a reality of the position. So
Yeah.
and I just feel like I don't know. Is Aaron Jones trash? Because A.J. Dillon all of a sudden became trash. And I don't know why that is. Like, I don't, like, going into last season, if you asked me who would you rather have a running back, Josh Jacobs or a combination of Dillon and Jones, I would have said Dillon and Jones 100%. Like, going into last year. But after the year that Jones had kind of plagued by injuries, and even when he didn't really play great, and Dillon, just completely, I don't know what happened to him. Now I feel like, I guess they did get an upgrade at running back, but I mean, I guess it remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm seeing, AJ Dillon is might re-sign with the Packers. So
And how about Henry to Baltimore?
That's not fair.
that's amazing. I'm so happy
For?
as a football fan. You don't want to see that? Like that's like
No.
No, but happy for who? For Henry, for the Ravens,
for
or you
NFL.
just excited to see it?
Yeah, I'm just for the
Oh,
NFL. I'm very excited to see that. Yeah, man.
yeah. I don't know that. I don't know. I'm a little dubious on that, but we'll see. I'm for me. I always, for whatever reason, I always assume that a a for the most part, a free agent or trade is gonna fail until I see it succeed. Like my default is this isn't gonna work. I'll believe it when I see it. Like I always kind of am skeptical. Like, okay, they signed this guy. Like my first thought is never, oh wow, this is gonna be great. Like I don't know if it's because I'm a pessimist. I don't know what it is, but like every time a guy goes somewhere, my first thought is, I need to see it. Just because I feel like for me, I always look at football as being so complimentary that like, anytime a guy goes down, you change it. You change any little position. You change the quarterback. You change the O line. You change the running back. Like, I feel like there's so much, particularly offensively, so much that goes into it from a chemistry standpoint that I feel like the pieces gotta fit. And when you find a fit and then you change it, like. I don't know, man. I don't know that Derrick Henry doesn't feel like a compliment to Lamar Jackson to me, but I don't know. Maybe they figure out a way to do it, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but like I, for whatever reason, I feel like I would be more excited if he would have went somewhere else.
Cowboys. I think he was going to sign for the
Interesting.
Cowboys.
I would have been more excited if he went to the Cowboys, not from a fan standpoint, but I feel like just what I would assume his role would have been in that offense, to me, I can envision that making more sense from a complimentary standpoint than whatever the Ravens offense is with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Because Lamar Jackson, I mean, like, Derrick Henry is very much a one-cut runner.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the success that the running backs have in the Baltimore offense tends to be off of, like, triple option, a lot of lateral runs as opposed to. I mean, they have Gus Edwards. Obviously,
I'm
he
about to
tends
say,
to be a much more. But look, they have Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards, what has he done? Like he's just a name that we know, but he averages like one and a half yards a carry. Like I hate to say it, but the whole downhill runner thing for Baltimore has not really worked for them the last couple of years. Like they've tried it, but it hasn't. Like the downhill runner to have a ton of success with Baltimore, the last time we seen it was Jamal Lewis. Like we have not seen a running back of the Derrick Henry style have big time success. Like they tried to do the J.K. Dobbins thing, which he's very different than Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
and he was good when he was there, but he didn't run. He didn't have that one cut run style the way that Derrick Henry does. Like I feel like you kind of, to a certain degree, take away the threat. You know what I mean? Like because when Henry's in, I mean, listen. I could be proven wrong. We'll see how they end up using him. But I feel like when Henry's in the game in Baltimore, I don't gotta worry about the option. Like I don't gotta worry about I feel like he's going to be a easier back to monitor and control. If you're talking about like is Lamar gonna keep it? Is he gonna give it to Derrick Henry? Like Derrick Henry. You're not running him out of a ton of shotgun. You know what I'm saying? You're getting under center. You're handing it off. He's making one cut and he's blowing through the line. And with that type of running style, I just don't know that you still have the same advantage of the threat of Lamar. But I don't know. Maybe they because they didn't really run they run a weird type of like play action out of the shotgun. They didn't really run a lot of like multiple step drop play actions. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they use him. How many snaps does he get? Does he play third downs? And also on top of that, to see what he has left. Because there are people who don't think that he really has the juice to really be good anywhere. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, there's been people that didn't think from the beginning that he had the juice. But I don't know. I just think that it's like with Derrick Henry. I just think that you have to hold both the inside and the outside with Lamar Jackson. Like, on those, like on those read options, zone read,
Yeah.
jet sweep with Zay Flowers going, like the misdirection is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily that it's going to be a long term, like during the whole season, but in the beginning of the season, like I think there's a team that could go on a run almost like the Eagles, where like like they like teams had to have to like figure out what they're doing. It's a different story when you get towards the end in the middle of the season, but I just think like and people get banged up, but I just think with like when the linebackers, they got to make sure that Lamar Jackson isn't going to break to the outside, or they got to hold on Zay Flowers coming through on the sweep, and then they got if they need 5 yards and they have the threat of Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, wrapping around the outside, and you got Henry that just has to take one cut in that running scheme, and falls forward, he's got the first down. You know what I'm saying? So like that's where I mean, like it's gonna just be dangerous.
Yeah.
More rushing yards and touchdowns next year. Which duo? Jackson Henry or Barkley Hurts?
Ooh.
I don't know if that Philly push is going to be as effective now. So
Well, that's another thing. It's interesting that you bring that up because I was wondering, because the first thing that people started asking me about or first kind of conversations that I first started having when Saquon officially signed with the Eagles was like, okay, so what do we expect from him from a fantasy standpoint? Where would he fall in the fantasy draft? Do you draft him before McCaffrey now? Is he the number one running back? Is he number two? Is he number three? Where does he fall? And the first thing I thought was how many touchdowns is Jalen Hurts going to take away from Barkley? Because that has been a problem from a fantasy standpoint with the Eagles running backs the last couple of years, is that that they're not getting goal line carries because that's going to be tush push Jalen Hurts. That's where he eats. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, was part of the Barkley signing due to the fact that Kelsey's not there and maybe they don't plan to run as much tush push?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't speak, but it seems that way. And I do believe one of the main reasons the Eagles got him was because of his leadership qualities. Like them losing some key leaders in that locker room, and Saquon is one of those guys known to be, a leader and one of those guys that you want in the locker room. So, I think that has to do with a lot to do with it. And like.
So you're taking Barkley Hurts?
No, I'm taking Henry and Lamar definitely.
Henry Jackson,
I just think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, man. I just think.
Because think about Gus.
I don't think it's just gonna be remove Gus and put Henry. I think they're gonna move some of those formations around to complement them. With the tight ends, probably more double tight ends.
This is a team that carried the ball 4 times in a home playoff game that they were never down by more than one score. Let's just remember that.
Yeah, disgusting.
But still tomfoolery can still creep in.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. That's the other thing about it, is that like it's just it's crazy to think like the thing that they have been most criticized for since that playoff loss is they didn't run the ball. Why do they only run the ball X amount of times? They didn't run the ball, and now they signed Derrick Henry. How much does this mean that they're gonna pivot? They're gonna run the ball more? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
That's exactly what you want us to do.
From a production standpoint, I still gotta go. I still think that I would take Barkley Hurts.
If it's yards, I'm taking Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. If it's touchdowns.
Well, it's a combination of the two. That's why I combined the two in the question. But I think I personally would still take Hurts and Barkley or yards as well.
Yeah, that's a tough debate.
It's weird because you know what the funny thing about it is? I feel like if you're thinking about it, I feel like I'm thinking Derrick Henry touchdowns, but I'm also thinking Jalen Hurts is a touchdown machine as well. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that will be an interesting those two newly formed duos both kind of go through the season. I think is going to be interesting.
Definitely.
Now, what's more dangerous? Last question.
Last one.
Now, if it's is the current what are more dangerous? The current Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, or if you do Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley,
I was thinking that exact
Derrick
same
Henry, Jalen Hurts.
I think Jackson Barkley is.
You got to find Jackson. You got to follow Jackson.
That's like dynamic. Like, all right, we're just gonna, we're gonna run up and down the field. Like, we barely need to pass it. Like that. But if it's like if it's in the red zone, Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Well, if you're keeping just them two dual, like if you think about the team, that might change it. But yeah, them two dual, like just the two dual. Yeah, I'm gonna go Lamar, but that's a tough one. I just think that I kind of disagree with H a little bit. I just kind of feel like that one cut. Like Gus is not great, but the only reason he has success is because he fits that scheme of that one cut get down.
But what success did he have? My point was that his success was. But that's the thing.
Really good in
my point was that his success was purely touchdown based. He was, but as far as like being a running back who can, like, if you're telling me they got Derrick Henry to do what Gus Edwards does and score touchdowns, yeah, sure, I'm sure he could do it just as well. I'm talking about all the shit that they couldn't do with Gus Edwards, that they needed to bring in Justice Hill and this other guy who ended up getting hurt. All that Mitchell. That they were, exactly. All that shit that they were unable to do with Gus Edwards, they're not going to be able to do with Derrick Henry either. Because he's not that type of dude.
Yeah. I think a little, not a little, but like a lot has to be said for the amount of respect that they put on some of these players' names, like the opposing defense. So it's almost like when you have, the linebacker, like all these players, like, they have a hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? Like names still ring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, when you got the middle linebacker, whatever, and he's waiting, there's like, damn, like I gotta. If he has to hold for an extra second and be like, okay, because he has to square up on Derrick Henry if he's the one who's going to get it, or he's got to, make it to the edge, so that Lamar doesn't break it, and he could look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like he's looking out for himself because he could look ridiculous in either way. If he's getting run through by Derrick Henry, or he's grasping at ankles because he's diving for Lamar Jackson, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think, like, the names, like, when you have, like, Gus Edwards, even if, like, because there's plenty of running backs that have had good production, but they don't have that name. I feel like people respect the name, even if it's ridiculous, a little bit more, like, than certain players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, but we shall see. We shall see how the rest of the free agency period plays out.
A long way to go.
Yeah, there's still a lot of guys who either they signed and I missed it, or they still haven't signed. And obviously we still have the draft. Guys getting cut. Not guys getting cut and guys getting screwed because Joe Mixon ended up finding a home in Houston, so it worked out for him. But he kind of got screwed at the beginning of free agency because while everybody was getting paid, he was unavailable. I feel like they
didn't even cut him.
By him. Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they didn't cut him, which is why he was not a part of. He was not an option for the Eagles to give him the contract instead of Barkley, or for any of these other teams that ended up going into the free agency and signing running backs. He was not able to collect any of that money because they didn't cut him. He ended up getting a contract anyway, so they kind of did right by him towards the end. But the same thing happened with Aaron Jones too. So, but
like Aaron Jones, like they both Mixon. The reason they thought that they had they were paying Mixon too much money because I guess they want Chase Brown, the rookie from last year. They want him to give him a bigger role, but like Joe Mixon, like if he got cut, he would have gotten more guaranteed money than he did if he got like because he got traded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, granted, it's a better situation. I don't even want to say it's a better situation, but it's like, you know, at least he went to a decent team. Like he could have
Better
easily got
situation than
screwed.
the Bengals.
Oh well, in terms of no,
Yeah, I
like
think
that's why I
so.
corrected myself. Like, no, because it's like I mean the offense has a yeah. I mean it's almost like there's I
Texans
guess the
got better.
Texans are similar. Yeah, but the Texans are similar to the Bengals. But what I'm saying, like he could have easily gotten screwed and went to a shitty team on that same contract. You know, it just so happened that you know the Texans saw the upside of not having to go out and pay the money that was being given out to the running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw. I think pretty much. I think they have Mixon for like almost the amount that Singletary got from the Giants. So it's like for them, that's upside because in my opinion, Joe Mixon is a better running back than Devin Singletary. And
And
also,
where's Dalvin Cook? Did he sign anywhere yet?
no.
No.
But
Devin White did.
where did this nickname for Devin Singletary come out of nowhere? Everybody was
has a
calling him
nickname?
Motor Singletary.
Oh, come on. Did he,
That's
did he
exactly
give his own name?
No, people were calling him like I saw on Twitter, like, "Oh, yo, good for Motor." Oh, they got Motor. Like I'm like, what? Okay, this is just made up. But it was like multiple people that were calling him this.
Oh, I know. I didn't even know that. Wow, Motor
Yeah.
Singletary.
Yeah. Now you guys know.
And now and where does Zach Moss is the signed with the Bengals, right? Is he the
Yeah.
Bengal?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's the one they signed. Yeah.
Yeah, they signed him for like whatever, like not that much more than what they, or not that much less than what they had to pay Mixon. But I guess you know what I'm saying. Like it's the name thing. It's almost like why they cut Dalvin Cook because sometimes the name outweighs like what you have to do. Like sometimes like these players have the egos where they still think that they're still the player that their name rings. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know they have that ego with them, but. Like Zach Moss, you could put him in. Yo, listen, you just came from a place where you were splitting time with Jonathan Taylor. Come over here. We want to, a split backfield. We got Chase Brown, and we got you, and we're gonna utilize you in a way that's gonna, be effective. Something that probably Joe Mixon wasn't liking much. So,
Yeah.
Joey Mixon. Well, we'll see how he mixes in with the with the Houston Texans next season, and we'll see how he and CJ get along.
Yeah.
But until then, how many weeks do we have left until the draft?
6, 5?
No, it can't be that many, is it?
I think so.
yeah, it's like at least 6.
Devin Bush to the Eagles.
Devin Bush.
Oh yeah, linebacker.
I wanted him.
Pittsburgh
So.
Steelers.
Isaiah Simmons ain't signed yet. But anyway, I gotta go pick my dunny up.